Hi, I have three Toyota 787 knitting machines, and I have been fixing my machine last 2 years, or two of those machines. And the purpose of this video is to tell you how to troubleshoot the needle selection for the punch card and also for the buttons of the machine. I will be opening up the machine and showing what you need to check to fix the machine, and hopefully in the future I will be also making actually a maintenance video out of my other machine. It will be long, sorry about that, but hopefully it will help people who have been struggling with this specific machine. So hopefully my pain will help you with your machines. Enjoy. And this is my Toyota 787, or one of the three machines I actually have. This is my spare part machine, so I don't have any needles in it, and it's also missing a few other pieces, but I will show those. I will now let you know how to troubleshoot the card reader issue. So if the card reader isn't working, or if these buttons aren't working and it's not selecting needles. There are multiple things which may be an issue, and with this video I will try to show you all the possibilities which can cause issues. One of the things is that it is easiest to investigate this if you take off the base. You can do it only removing by the other side of it in some cases, but I have removed the base of this. And I have just this. Okay, we start from here. I am missing a few pieces from here, so I will just place these like this, because this is where they belong. The first issue I encountered with was this spring over here. This is I-shaped. It can be T-shaped, or it depends about the year which the machine was made, I think, because I had two machines, and in other one it's like I like this, and in other machine is the T-shaped one. And with this machine, this may get stuck between these. These are selection pins for the card reader. So this one of the springs can get stuck in between. That is one of the issues you may have. Other issue which you may have, okay, that is there now, oh, we don't care, is that this specific is not lined up correctly. So you may need to adjust this side to side so that it will return the needles correctly. So position of this can be incorrect. One thing which is really easy to check without opening everything up is from the side. I will remove this. So here, this screw holds little plate in place. It's hard to see, but there's two plates stacked up. If this grayer plate is off its place, then the needle selection does not work. The way you can see the correct location for this is from the other end of the machine. Over here, we can see these holes, and how this is correctly placed is that this square over here is lined up with the square on the bottom plate. So if these are not lined up, it cannot work, because this plate is the one which locks the needles to down when the needle is selected. And if it's moved to wrong place, it cannot lock the needles. That is one important thing. Next thing to check is actually one of the most difficult things to check, because it requires cleaning, because it requires opening all these screws from here. And before opening these needles, do something which I did not do with my machine. Take exact measurements from this point to this point, and also this width exactly, and this one, and also this one. Once you remove the screws, it's really hard to put everything back together. And if you don't have the measurements, it will be a bit difficult to put everything back together. So now I'm going to open up this machine, because this is my spare part machine, and I will show you what can be done. It's hard to see from here, so we will open it up. But there are those gray gates which these are going through. Those gates are the issue why sometimes the needle machine is not working, or the selection is not working, if those plates are stuck together. So I will now open the machine, and you will see what happens. I have my device. This is really good for this. So how I will open it up? I have to remove tons of screws. Let's start from here. There's usually a screw. You shouldn't touch that one. I have used that specific part for my machine. Then we have the screws over here. Now to open these two, but these must be opened from here. Okay, and with these screws, I have been now able to remove the card reader part is free. Oh, I'm missing one. There's one screw more. And okay, as we can see, there are a lot of different sizes of needle screws over here. And to be honest, I haven't kept track which goes where. I'm honest with that. So yeah, don't be like me. If you open it up, just mark down which screw you took from which location. So this is now. You can get this moving. I hope. Oh, yeah, and let's see. Do I still have something in there? Oh, yes, I do. This is one of the tricky things with the machine. I did open all these, but this plate is attached to this piece, and to remove it, I have to remove this plate first. So we have to turn this around, and we have to lock this mechanism. Let's see which way I'm able to move it. Let's see. There we go. I'm using my feet also with this, and there are this screw which I have to move, which is really hard if you have your hands full of stuff. And actually I may need another tool for this, because let's see if I'm able to get it in the angle. Yes, I was. And there is one.
And now I should be able to remove this one. Just a moment. Yeah, it's stuck over there, but let's see if this moves now. It moves better. Okay, it's that piece is over there, so I have to lift it carefully. I now need both of my hands, but now I had to wiggle it off from this. But then we have these here, these selection pins, and I had to lift these off. So I forgot I have to take this off. There we go. So now when I lift this off, hopefully I get the selection needles also. Okay. So now before I am able to lift this off, I have to get these pins off, which happens just by lifting this up. And yes, you have to use some force with this because otherwise it just doesn't function. So I will try to be careful and not to break anything. Okay, not sure if you can see it, but I'm basically just grab my fingers and removing these pins one by one. Okay, these are off, so I hopefully, yeah, there we go. So, this is the mechanism which is stuck in this one, partly, but this is the card reader mechanism part of it. Now we can actually see inside. Hey, I found something inside of it. This might have been the reason. This was actually inside of here. So this might have been part of the reason why the machine has not worked or why I was not able to get off this one plate. Now I'm able to get this plate off from there. There we go. So one of the issues with the plates is that we can see these plates over here and the holes in between. Just a moment, I will try to adjust the lighting. One of the issues which you may have with the machine is, well, I have tons of dust in here, is that these plates are not moving as they should. This is one of the selection pins. When the selection pins is in the hole and needle is selected, this one plate moves one step left. Only one step minorly on left. Now in this case we can see that even I'm trying to move just one, it moves multiples. And that is because some of these plates are stuck to each other. What I learned was that this part of the machine, these plates, you should never ever add any oil in these plates. So this should be always oil-free and as clean as possible. Because if there is some oil, it will cause these plates to stuck to each other. And this is exactly what is going on here. These are stuck together, these four. So that's the reason why the mechanism doesn't work with this machine. How to open up and fix this part? is basically by opening the rest of the screws from here. So let's continue with that. Okay, let's try the wiggling. So this is one part which keeps the needles in correct places. The needles are set in these between these holes, basically. Now this direction we can also see the plate. It has little notches like that, and that is what keeps the needles in bottom position when the needle is selected. These plates, these golden colored or whatever plates, are for the choosing in which part of the needle bed you will see the pattern. Is it the whole bed or just part of the bed? And this is a stopper, which is important part for the tool. No, I cannot remove this at the moment because this is in place. But what this does is that it will stop the needles going backwards when they are used in the punch card, for example. What we must do now is to remove from here the needle plates, which work for the selection. I can get these off, but I think we are able to wiggle off these plates here. So let's turn this around, and well, this is only partly attached here, so it's gonna be wiggly. There we go. Whoa! So, okay, let's see. It's somewhat balanced. So here we have the needle selection plates, and these plates control the needle selections. So one plate, it has this teeth over here, and when the teeth is at the same position than the needle on top over here, then it will use the main color or is not used in the pattern. When there is when this is moved away from that spot, then there will be that it will be moved with another position when it will be used. And these plates are the one which was stuck in the other machine. And removing these plates is easy. We have hinges, these are locked down like this. So these must be removed. And then you can just, once you have removed all of these, you can lift these off. And there is 8 plates in one stack. When putting back the plates, remember to put back all the 8 plates. So I've opened this one from here. Here we have the screws, and it's sadly behind this. So let's see if I can wiggle it. So let's see if I'm able to get this off. I may need another screwdriver for this. Also, don't shoot those on the other side of the room, just like I just did. And then we can lift these off. I have removed these, so here is the next one. There we go. And the last one. There we go. Now I can lift up this stack. There's this golden color plate on the top, which is basically keeping these close to each other. And now I'm gonna wiggle the knee set. I need both. So now I have the plates here. This is the one on the top. And next, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But basically these are the plates. You should never have any oil on these plates. And when you get these back together, there's once again few things you need to know about setting this back together. But most likely these are the problem if nothing else has fixed your machine. So I will now tell you the tricks, what you have to know when you put these together. I'm not going to put this machine back together because this is my spare parts. I'm going to take these parts and I'm going to save these pieces for my other machine. But now I will show you a few things you need to know. So, if you have removed this and this, so this white part and these plates are separate from each other, it's important that these plates are in correct position when you put this back together. The manual has exact instructions for that, the service manual. It has instructions how this plate should be stacked and what should be the position of this specific screw over there. Make sure that these pieces, which I have now removed from here, partly, make sure that these are lined up correctly and do not have any caps in between, because otherwise the needles will get stuck there. Then putting that part back to this. One moment. Best way to do is that somehow get this hanging free, bit more down. You place this on top to correct place, like this. Yep, it's about there. And you have to push it down to correct location without breaking anything else. There we go. And placing the needles back. How you have to do with this, I had this one hanging on the floor, not on the floor, but hanging on the other side of the table. So the machine was a bit raised. I had these screws already in place. Then I slided this in. You have to make sure that it goes through correct gates over here, which are not always in place. So there we go. You have to get these matching to correct holes, so it will move the correct gate. Then you have to just use force. So what I did was I was keeping this bit up somehow, and then I had to turn it around and put this in place. It is easiest if you can have this part, hanging a bit, so it looks something like this. This will make it easier to put the needle selection rod in place. I'm not going to put this piece back together, but I will be opening up my third machine at some point, and I will try to make video of troubleshooting that. Now I will just take pieces away from this specific machine and use those as a spare part for future fixes. So hopefully this helps someone. Opening up all the screws and stuff, it's nasty business. You get your hands are dirty, and I have several cuts on my hands. And putting this back together is pain. So unless you have to do it, I don't recommend doing it. But if the selection plates, if these plates are stuck and glued together, only way you can fix it is open up the machine. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.